All right. Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk English. And this is the first live stream that I'm ever going to. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. And what else can I say? So I think let's start today's video. In this particular video today, I'm going to write a very important yet a very complicated question type for IELTS Writing Task 2. And as you all might have guessed by right now, it is discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, I have to tell you one thing, right? I almost come into contact with more than 30 candidates every day, online and offline. And whenever I have mock tests, right, usually they are on Sunday, I see that most of the candidates, not everyone, but most of them make mistakes in understanding the format. So this question type and this video is going to be dedicated to making sure that you're not making such mistakes, right? Please, I apologize, I'm panting a little bit because on the inside, I'm still very nervous, right? Now, that being said, let's start the question and I hope you can see it. If you have any problem, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to get with that particular thing. So let's begin now. Alright, just give me a minute. Yeah, I think it's working. So let's begin. The question type says, some people think that competition at work and at school and in daily life is a good thing. Others believe that we should try to cooperate more rather than competing with each other, against each other. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. So, yes, opinion is asked, right? And the thing is, competition. So the main question just is competition good or cooperation is more good? Well, to be honest, I feel cooperation is much more important. But since this is a discuss both views and give your opinion, my opinion is cooperation is better, right? Why? The reason is very simple. See, I also come from a community, to be honest, I've heard a lot of people coming from capitalist mindset and communist mindset. And I'll be honest here, I resonate with the latter ones. So, why do I believe that cooperation is much more important? Because I think that this ultimately results in benefit of the society or the community or whatever you want to say. So, first of all, para 2 is going to be dedicated to view 1. And what am I going to write here? Why do some people think that competition is? Because it helps to achieve the dreams. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the reason. Para 3, the view that I support is cooperation, right? And why do I feel that it is? Because it helps everyone to grow. No one feels left out, and the society is a much better place to live in, which does not happen when people compete with each other. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Conclusion, we already know what do we have to write. So let's start with writing the essay. The very first thing that I'm going to do is, some people think that competition at work. Okay, it is nowadays a lot of people in the society, in our society, opine that it is no competition at workplace and at educational institutes in daily life is a is beneficial, while some, on the other hand, feel that everybody should cooperate and with each other rather than competing. With I is missing, and yes. So now the thing is, how do I frame my opinion? My opinion is pretty simple, right? In my opinion, cooperation has the upper hand because of one simple fact: with when everybody cooperates with each other, with their colleagues and friends, everybody grows and no one is left behind. Eventually, वैसे तो I should not be writing so much, but still चलो, let's say. Eventually, benefiting, eventually making the society a much better place from all aspects. Alright, so this is your paragraph number 1. Done. Done, done, done. Sorry, I shouldn't be speaking those words. But yes, we're done and dusted with 25% of the essay, or you could say 1/4 of the essay. Now, I want to say one thing. The essay that I'm going to write, it is going to be present in the link that is in the description. You can go ahead and download it, share it with anyone, and check it out later for any kind of reference that you want, right? All right. Now, the next thing is, how do we write the view 1? That is, it helps to achieve dreams. What? Competition. On one hand, intellectuals who vouch for who argue that people should have a competitive spirit say so because it enables an individual to stay ahead of others and accomplish their dreams. This is basically, see, I have put the blame, or I won't say blame, But the benefit of doubt, still again a wrong statement. But what I'm trying to say is, I am not saying this is my opinion. That's why I've said, why do the people who say this, right? Uh, in simple words, when someone, a person, sees their classmates or workplace or team members, co-team with views, the classmates as competitors, he would always remember that if he does not put the hard work, others will get ahead, and therefore he is always working sincerely and learning new things while adapting to the changes of the modern world on a daily basis. This eventually makes them stand out, and hence the success is always theirs, and therefore they are able to achieve all of their goals and fulfill their desires. Right, this is my explanation. Right, now the next thing is, how do I give a supporting example? A case in point is the entire Silicon Valley in the United States, where people are so competitive that even some of they join the companies, the tech companies, as freshers, complete freshers, and end up starting their own ventures in a couple of years. That snowballs into billions of dollars of net worth, as seen with the current CEO of NVIDIA Technologies. Okay, so I don't remember his name exactly. I think he's Hensen Zhuang or something like that. But since I don't know the name, why should I take any kind of risk? Okay. So net worth. Okay. These are two separate words. Right. If you're thinking that this is getting too long, yes, it is getting too long, because I have a very verbose style of writing, and IELTS essays is not the only thing that I write. I'm just explaining to you how I would go ahead and write it. One thing. Second, I cleared my IELTS test almost 6 years ago, and I have a personal band score of 8.5 in my own IELTS test with a 9 and 9 on listening and reading and 7.5 in speaking and writing in only one attempt that I've given in my entire life so far. So, what I want to say you here is that this is how I would write it today. Speed is not a problem when you have a lot of thoughts and you've planned everything in advance. Even you would see that this live is not going to get uh, too long. Let's see how it turns out to be. So it's currently saying how much. How do I see how much minutes have I spent? Okay, let it go away. Right. Now, I'm going to state my opinion. That is, on the other hand, I strongly in the opposite. And what is it that I believe? It is because at almost all instances in the modern world history, countries that are the happiest ones are having a communist. My God, I hope I don't get rage from online people, but yeah, that is how the thing is. Because when you talk about the fact that communist and capitalistic, so I don't know why, but people get activated politically, and I don't have the stamina or the, what do you say, the intelligence to counter them. Okay, communist mindset which believes completely in the upliftment of everybody in the society, that will only happen if people cooperate with each other. As a matter of fact, okay, when all the residents of a society or workers in a corporation or students at a particular institute come together and work as a single unit, what is seen is a truly happy group of people who are not just successful on material front, but they are satisfied from their jobs and hence end up forming a truly humanitarian and contented society. All right. Now, the next thing is, once you've done the explanation, now the last thing that you need to do is you need to give an example, right? And I would literally quote a YouTube short video that I saw, wherein there was an influencer who went into a restaurant at probably some very popular place in the Middle East, UAE, and she very clearly said, although from Indian background, she very clearly said that I don't have to really care how the restaurant is making food. Are they using fresh materials or whether they are doing that hygienically or not? Because our government is taking care of that. So we don't need to be worried about that. But do you think this example works? I'll have to take the example of China, right? So, for instance, in countries such as China, which are officially declared communist societies, it has been observed that their people are extremely happy. They all have a decent standard of living with very few cases of poverty, and they live an educated, healthy life because their core philosophy is cooperating with each other at every possible place. Right, so it's not just even the workplaces or the schools, like the government is cooperating with the public, and I really admire China for that. But yeah, that is it. It's not my country, so I only know what has been shown to me via the internet. That being said, nothing's better than my own country. That's India. Alright, so in conclusion, I would reiterate that the core philosophy of cooperating and helping each other is the superior one, as it results in eventual growth of every person in that society. Eventual growth of every person in that society, leading to a much happier society. Alright, so this is my writing task 2 that I have written. I've basically tried to explain you how not to get confused with or discuss both views and give your opinion. You have to discuss both sides of the opinion with equal importance, but yes, the idea that you don't go with, you should always start it by saying that there are individuals who argue, but when you say your side of the story, you can use I strongly believe. That being said, I know this is going to be a longer essay. I hope it's not a 500 words essay. So 616, how much words? Yeah, 463, completely normal for someone like me. Right, I'll also upload in the same Google document a refined version of this along with the vocabulary that I've used here, or I may end up using in the revised version. So go ahead, please download that particular file. And if you have any questions, you could have also asked me in the live, but as I can see, there's not much of people here. first thing. Anyhow, this will continue and I'll see for a month or two how it turns out. If you have any questions, you can contact me via Instagram or just post it in the comments of the video. I'll try to reach you out and I'll be more than happy to help. Yes. And lastly, since I'm planning to do this every day, my intention will be that I can address the problems that you have. So if you want any help, you want me to analyze your speaking, writing, whatever it is, just throw it at me. I'll meet you tomorrow in another IELTS writing task 2 question type, or maybe another thing that I'll pick. All right. Goodbye and love you all. Bye bye.